Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Today is July the 8th, and there's two games in the WNBA. I'm running a little bit late with the show. We got one of them that actually kicks off in about 30 minutes. So we'll jump right into that. I didn't make a bet on it, but I'll tell you guys how I would bet it if I was going to bet it. I am not doing well in the WNBA right now. And it's not even that I'm losing a whole bunch of money. It's more so that there's no consistency for me. Like there's no consistency, man. I have a good night, I have a bad night. I have a good night, I have a bad night. Last night was another bad night. Golden State, I ended up taking them plus the 7.5. They had the lead all the way up into the fourth quarter. They get outscored by 13 points in the fourth quarter. And this is what I talk about with Golden State, though. So I kind of kicked myself for taking them, but I mean, they were winning the whole game. I thought they could win the game outright. And then the fourth quarter they can't get a stop. They give up 26 points. And they also can't score the basketball. Every shot goes in and out, and they couldn't stop Naz Hillman from hitting 3-pointers. So Brittany Griner, yesterday we talked about liking her points. I played it official and sent it out to the members at 9.5, the 10.5. Either way, she did exactly what she needed to do to get up and over the number. She finished right with 11 points. She had 10 of them in the first half. She shot the ball 3 for 3 from the field. Just all the things that you don't expect from Brittany Griner. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a hiatus. I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but I can't continue to stomach these losses in the W. I didn't bet the last game. Told you guys I didn't feel strongly about that one. If I had bet it, I would have lost that as well. Thought that I said Dallas potential. What we had saw from Dallas was a little bit of fool's gold because it had been at home, and that's the same thing for the Valkyries as well. Valkyries have played two teams in the in the Eastern Conference that's not at Chase Center, and they've gotten smoked in both of them, lost by double digits in both games to the Minnesota Lynx and Atlanta Dream. So how good are the Valkyries? We have no idea quite yet. So on the season, I'm down 2 units. Yesterday, down 2 units. I'm a chill. I'm a chill, man. But we can talk about them. Man, it'll be quick too, because I do got a lot of things to do today as well. Derwin says, good morning. Chris, last night was rough. Let's bounce back today, thinking about taking the Sky and the points. What do you think? We'll talk about that in just a second. What's up, Chicago's Cheetah? He says, I'm taking the Sky plus the points, and you're from Chicago. I expect that. Andrew Reese over her boards. I expect that. Prolific says he lost on the Valkyries. Prolific says, I like the early game under just because the start time. We'll talk about that in just a second. I do got some stuff about that as well. Anthony says, happens, Chris. Ebbs and flows of sports betting happens to the best of us. Yeah, here's the thing, though, Anthony. I don't like to toot my own horn, man, but if you've been following me for a while, I don't really go too much back and forth, man. Like, in the NBA last season, yeah, like they're trying to figure it out. Like, yeah, I'm back and forth in the NBA, but if you go back a couple years ago, like this back and forth stuff don't really work too well for me. So I'm gonna sit on the sideline, man. But I do appreciate it. Like I do agree there's ebbs and flows, but I can't keep going 2-0, 2-1, 1-2, 0-2. Like I need to get on a consistent streak, and these teams are very, very volatile in my opinion. Very, very volatile. What's up, Mark? Appreciate you for tapping in. PZ says top of the morning, gang. Dream first quarter was trash. Dom says morning, Chris and Chat. W has been a train wreck recently. My exhibit A, as Dom says. He says I had more bets than the hot dog competition than I had in the W. What's up, Chad? Appreciate you for tapping in. Danny says, what's up, Chris? How come there is an early game? So the camp games start today, right? I was actually about to go to this game. Found some nice tickets courtside, not courtside, but a couple rows up. Like $150 a piece, and I was like, nah, you know what, I'm not gonna go. I didn't go. Spent my money on Amazon Prime Day instead. But DJ says Sonya Citron points are too low today. We'll talk about it. Good morning, Algina. Jalen says Sky early. Chad says he got Mystics -4. Dom says maybe it gets better after the All-Star break, and that could be it. It's only about 4 or 5 games to the All-Star break. All right, let's jump into it. Like I said, I do got some things that I got to do. I won't be on here long, but we will go through Jackson. Yesterday, Jackson like Ryan Howard over her 4.5 boards. Ryan Howard finished that game with, I'm not even sure. Let's just check real quick. It was Ryan Howard over her 4.5 boards. She finished with with 4, so she did go under. And Tiffany Hayes under her 15.5 points. I think she finished she finished with 12. So one winner, one loser from Jackson yesterday. And then we talked about the under yesterday for the first half at 80 as well. And I mean, absolute trash, right? The Valkyries shoot, what was it, 46% from the 3-point line in the first half, and then can't score the ball in the fourth quarter, 13 points. But in Atlanta Dream were 13-3 to the under, or 10-3 to the under, something like that, and they fly up and over the total. So, and we got the best of the number by 2.5 points. So, I mean, what do you do with that? Neither here nor there. Anyway, today for Jackson, Jackson likes, let's just see real quick. Same prompt, right? 1 over, 1 under. Jackson likes, if I can get it to load, it was loaded. But it looks like it's tripping. Maybe we won't get anything from Jackson today. Yeah, we'll skip Jackson today because it's taking too long. All right, let me just see if this can come up real quick, and then we'll breeze through these games real quick because, like I said, this first one does start in about 25 minutes. At George Mason today, man, which is about an hour and 30-minute drive for me. So I was definitely thinking about checking this one out, going to see Angel Reese. Wallace, I'm not sure what Jackson's doing. We're going to skip Jackson today. Let's jump into the game for today. So first one up is the Sky and the Mystics. Let me just double check the line. I put these in yesterday. This line's all the way up to 7 now in favor of the Mystics. I don't agree with the move. I don't agree with the move on this going up. I get it, right? So if you like the Chicago, first of all, hold on. Let me just do my due diligence. So let me go through the injury report real quick. Did see some injury just pop up for the second game. All right, so Cardoso is out. She's the only person that's out for Chicago. Washington looks like they'll have everybody active for this game. All right, so Chicago, what I wrote in my notes yesterday, 3-day rest disadvantage, right? But they've covered 5 straight games. They've also have a revenge in this spot as well after losing 72-79 at home earlier this season back on June 17th. This Washington team has lost back-to-back games. They lost to the Dallas Wings. They lost to the Minnesota Lynx. It's their first game back home after a 3-game road trip. They are 5-2 ATS following a game that they didn't cover, which is the 3rd best percentage in the WNBA after non-cover. But how could you really play against Chicago right now? Like I said, Chicago has covered 5 games in a row. Washington, for whatever reason, owns Chicago. They've won 4 straight in the head-to-head matchup. They won 8 of the last 10. They've covered 7 of the last 10. And those games do typically go under. 8 of the last 10 have stayed under the total. Couple things I was looking at in this game. So first thing is, it's the early start time. So when we start talking about the total, and I just want to double check one more thing real quick. We start talking about the total. Games that start before 1 o'clock in the WNBA go under at a 76.7% hit rate over 130 games. So I'm only looking towards the under. I think the total has begun to creep up. I was at the game last year. I've actually been to the last 2. I watched the Mystic Camp Day games. I'm gonna miss this one. But this total is 159.5 still. I thought it would go up. Maybe it did. I just missed it. But I think this game goes under the total. Washington offense is very inconsistent. We can see it here. 12th in offensive rating. The Chicago Sky offense has actually been playing a little bit better recently. But I think because of the early start time, I think we see this game go under as well. I mentioned 8 of the last 10 matchups between these two teams that stayed under the total as well. From a player prop perspective, I thought about Brittany Sykes. I think her prop is boosted a little bit up to 16.5. I think a play on Brittany Sykes made sense, right? The last time that these two teams played earlier this season, back on June 17th, Brittany Sykes ended the game with 32 points, right? That's one thing, right? She's had success against this team. But then the opposite, the second thing is she may feel a little bit snubbed from not making the All-Star team, even though Kiki Iriafen and Sonia Citron both made it for her team. Brittany Sykes has been extremely inconsistent, extremely volatile. She'll have 7 points, so she'll have 30 points. Really no in between for Brittany Sykes. So I guess to look towards her points over 16.5 is not anything that I'm a bet, but I think if I was betting this game, I'll be taking the points with the Chicago Sky, being that they continue to keep covering, even though they are at the major rest disadvantage. I just don't want to lay points with the Washington Mystics, and they're just extremely inconsistent, and too inconsistent for my money. And they've also played in a couple games where they have really failed to score the basketball. I think if you go look at their last 2 games just really quickly, they have let me just double check it for you guys real quick. So I was looking into this. The Washington Mystics, I don't think they've scored 80 points in their last 2 games. Yeah, they had 75 against the Minnesota Lynx, a very good defensive team. They scored 71 against the Dallas Wings. Just very volatile team. 94 against the Aces, though. So we'll see what happens in this game. My projection is going under, and I would even more so, I would take the points +7 with the Chicago Sky. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Blessed, as I pivot to mainly live betting about a month ago, it's only right with the W inconsistency. That's a fact. I like it. Blessed. Boogie says, good morning. Got the Golden State plus 11.5. Phoenix money line easy. Wisconsin says, I got under in the Mystics. I like it. Mark says plus 7. GMU, my alma mater. Okay. What's up, Mark? Good old George Mason. Dom says he took Sky plus 7.5 and first half under 79.5. I like it. If I bet the total, it'll be live. And if I bet the game, it'll be Chicago plus the points. Brittany Sykes over 21.5 points and assists. Put them together, Algina says. Chad says, love my Mystics Allen with the 3 points to CLV. Good luck, guys. We shall see. Just played first quarter under 39.5, Mark says. Does Shakira Austin get a double-double? I don't know, man. I will say we're talking about player props, right? We got to look at Angel Reese over her rebounds. She's continued to go up and over the number, I think, in like, what is it? How many games now? 5 straight games. We talked about it the other day. I didn't bet it. Angel Reese has been killing on the boards. Her boards are listed at 13.5. The Washington Mystics are one of the better rebounding teams in the WNBA. But you can't forget that Angel Reese probably going to have a ton of family at this game. She is from the DMV area. She's from Maryland, I think. So I would continue to play on Angel Reese. Her assists have been going crazy as well. I think she finished the last game with 6 assists. I'll also say this. I don't know how much the WNBA correlates with the NBA, but when players start talking about how bad the referees are, which Angel Reese did, Chicago only shot, I think it was 2 free throws through 3 quarters the other day. It's typically when you start to see, you get some whistles. So if Chicago was, got a friendly whistle in this game, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Angel Reese 3.5 assists is actually super juice now. But her rebounds and assists I think are pretty good. Dirty Rick says Misty turned the ball over way too much for my liking. I agree with that. Cree says I like Reese boards. I agree with the under, and I think it should some good rebounding chances for her. I agree with that. Points plus rebounds for Dirty Rig on Sonia Citron. Okay. Camp Day system play alert, and that has to be the under, right, Helms? Jason says top of the morning. What the hell took you so long to get me watching? Got me watching. I was just running all over the place today, man. My son got camp. I actually got to go leave to pick him up from camp in just a second. He got a half-day camp today. 2 says Sky probably can win this game. The way that they've been playing, it does look like they can win. Prestigious Price is my God. Let's cash. Appreciate you for tapping in, Prestigious Price. Yeah, do me a favor, hit the like button for me real quick. We transition over to the next game, which is the Aces and the Liberty. I saw this line open at 5. What I saw is what you guys see here: 5 and 6 and 166.5 is what I saw. The game has now come down. Those 5.5s quickly disappeared, and most of that news is probably predicated off of the injuries that just came out. If you guys have the notifications turned on, you see that Natasha Cloud has been downgraded to questionable, and Isabel Harris she's already been ruled out in this game as well. Natasha Cloud is dealing with a left hip injury, and then of course there's no JJ, right? Jacko Jones is missing. I tell you, in the Aces, Meg Gustin is listed as game time decision. No Cheyenne Parker Tyus, of course. The Aces they're in a funky spot as far as like travel spot. This is the 4th game of a 5-game road trip for the Aces. They did get a bounce back against Connecticut. We called that the other day after losing by 27 to the Indiana Fever the other night. They played in 3 straight unders. 5 of their last 6 games stayed under the total as well. This New York Liberty team has been god awful. 1-8-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. They've only covered 2 of their last 7 games. They do not play again until Sunday when they host the Atlanta Dream. So they do get a nice break after this. Add that to the fact that they just came off a 9-point loss to Seattle, and they've dropped 3 of their last 4 games. To me, it's a desperation spot. Heavily motivated. If you got a chance to listen to the comments from Natasha Cloud, she had a little bit of profanity talking about, the real fans going to stay with them and the rest of them don't, and they don't really care. And they just at a drastic downfall right now. The thing with the Aces, though, man, is I don't never want to take the Aces in back-to-back games, right? If the Aces play well, I kind of need to see it before I want to take the Aces again. The Aces are 3-5 straight up, 2-6 against the spread when they're coming off a game where they won their last game. The last 2 times that they've come off a win, they lost outright to the Mystics. They were laying 7. They lost outright to the Fever. They were laying 5. Lost the games by 18 points and lost the game by 11 and lost the game by 27. They also got losses by 6, losses by 27, losses by 20. These are all coming after a win this season, right? If we look at them after they've covered a game, 3-3 straight up, 2-4 against the spread, 4-2 to the under as well. And they have failed to cover their last 3 games when they're coming off a loss. I'm sorry, when they're coming off a game that they've covered as well. I don't really want to bet on the Liberty. I think 5 points is too many. A lot of trends that I found said that this game goes under as well. Just banking on the Liberty, the Aces being very inconsistent. Matter of fact, as we move to the total real quick, and I'm gonna just share this, and then I'm gonna go through the comments to get out of here. The Aces have played in 3 straight unders. 5 of their last 6 games have stayed under the total. New York have played in back-to-back unders as well. When I looked at home favorites who previously lost as a home favorite, this is of course the Liberty, and they have more rest than their opponent before their next game. They're 57% to the under in those games. Makes sense, because I do think the Liberty, at least if they have Natasha Cloud, I think they put their best defensive foot forward. And the Aces offense has been extremely inconsistent. They struggled to score against the Connecticut Sun in their last game. If the Aces continue to play with effort, it'll help the defense, and I think it'll slow New York's offense. Aces are, you can see the numbers here. They're 7th in pace in their last 5 games, and their scoring has actually dropped to 12th. They're averaging just 78 points per game. The Aces are also 3rd in defensive rating, while the Libs offense is taking a big step back. They're 8th in the last 5 games, but they are still 2nd overall. So lets you know how powerful the Liberty offense can be. But like I said, they're 8th in their last 5 games. Another really, really strong trend. It just follows the Liberty. Follows the Aces as far as like the travel spot. So I looked at teams that are playing their 4th straight home game, and then they covered the last game in their dog. Those games are 44, 29, and 1 to the under. That's almost 60%. I think the game goes under. I know that the total's going up. I think I saw it up to 165, 166 and a half, 167 on bookmakers. I think this game goes under. I think we see a good, strong defensive effort from both teams. So that's the way that I would want to play this. I can't quite get there with the Liberty. I said they won 8-1. There's nothing for me to want to put my money on. I also don't really want to take the Aces until I can kind of see it. So this is more of a live betting spot for me. If I see the Aces come out with some energy, they burned my money against the Fever. Never really showed up in that game at all. And I do know the Liberty are a little bit better than they've been playing recently. Natasha Cloud, if she plays, you got Fever out there to slow down this Aces offense. And it's a revenge spot. So that also screams under to me as well. I like under, and don't really want to take the side until I see how the first quarter goes. That's my thought process. Let's see. What are you guys thinking here? Aces money line for Helms. Dom says he took under 166. Gina says she likes Asia over 23.5 points. Dom says he'll take Libs early, first half -2.5. They're going to be pissed coming off that loss. Yeah, but without Natasha Cloud, boy, I don't really like relying on some of those role players. I love Johannes, but defensively, she's a cone. She can't guard anybody. 2 says Aces don't show up when it matters the most. I agree. Helm says Asia still struggles versus New York, scared to get to her. Helm says I lied at Chelsea Gray today, hoping they try to hide Sabrina on her. Let the point guard cook. She didn't do anything in the last game, so I can understand that. Prolific says, man, I was messing with the Aces. No more. I'm right there with you, Prolific. All right, so we got through these 2 games pretty easily. I didn't really look too much into player props at all. Real quick, let me just go through my spreadsheet and tell you where these teams really struggle, and then we'll get into a quick recap as well. I don't even think I wrote anything down on the recap page. All right, so we're looking at the Liberty specifically. If we're looking at the Liberty specifically, like I said, last 5 games, they're the 3rd worst defensive team, 3rd worst in net rating as well. Another reason why I can't lay points with them. They're actually giving up the highest effective field goal percentage at 13th, but let's see where they're giving up points. So they are really, really struggling in the restricted area, allowing teams to shoot 72%, which is 11th. They're getting killed in the paint, right? They're actually allowing the most paint makes, most paint attempts, and the 2nd best field goal percentage from inside the paint. So that screams Asia Wilson to me. Let's see. So Asia Wilson over points makes a lot of sense. They're also getting killed in the mid-range. Opponents are shooting 44%, which is the 2nd worst. Above the break 3, they're getting killed. 12th and above the break 3 makes. 9th and above the break 3 attempts for their opponent. And 2nd to last and above the break 3-point percentage as well. 36.5% is what they're giving up. The Aces have been shooting the ball a little bit better. They are 6th and above the break 3 makes, attempts, and field goal percentage over their last 5 games. So that's where they are giving it up. Let's see where the Aces are struggling. I feel like the Aces, you just don't know what Aces team you're going to get, man. They do not make you want to bet on basketball. So Aces are also getting killed from the three-point line. Last 5 games, they're the worst three-point defense in the WNBA, allowing teams to shoot 35.6%. Right corner 3, they're giving it up. Left corner 3, they're giving it up. They're doing pretty good in the restricted area. And the Liberty continue to shoot the ball a little bit from everywhere. They're kind of mixing it up a little bit, but they're not shooting the ball well. Like I said, they're 8th. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let's see. New York Liberty. Yeah, they're 8th in offensive rating and only averaging, they're 7th in points per game, only averaging 82 points per game as well. Yeah, I like under in this game. I like both unders, and that's how you know I'm not making a bet, because I like 2 unders, and I got smoked on the under yesterday. So probably gonna stay off the under today. But yeah, I think Asia over points makes a lot of sense just based off what we just said. That first game that's about to start is Chicago and Washington. Under, can you get a 160? 159 and a half, it looks like, I think is what I would bet if I was going to bet that game, but I'm not. Maybe I'll play something live, but I'm not betting any of these games, man. Let's see what else y'all saying. Dom says Asia under points, rebounds, and assists is a wagon, so take the whole thing under. Triple says under 9.5 boards. Nalissa Smith steals her boards. She did steal some boards, 777. You watched that game the other day. She was definitely out there stealing boards. I think Asia had 3 rebounds. That's highly dependent upon. If the Ace is not going to play no defense, she definitely going to be able to go out there and grab some boards. You know, we just got to see what version of the Aces we going to get. But yeah, 9.5 boards is a lot of boards to get, man. I think Nalissa Smith could definitely go down there and steal some boards as well. But again, the New York Liberty, one of the worst rebounding teams in the WNBA, so keep that in mind as well. Maybe Nalissa Smith over her rebounds should be the even better play. Maybe we put a little YOLO parlay together, 0.2 units or something like that on it. Nalissa Smith over her rebounds, and we put Amy Reese to get 20 rebounds or something like that. Y'all play around with it, man. Make some money. Pause. Play around with the bet slip. Make some money today, man. I hope you guys make some money today. Let's see if we got Nalissa Smith rebounds available for today. Nope, no Nalissa Smith rebounds. Of course not. Don't even see them available. But that's that. All right, so this next game, it will be under for me as well. Let me just see if I can find the best of the number, and then I got to get ready to jump up off here. Under 150, under 166 is still available. Las Vegas and New York under 166.5 on BetMGM right now. And I can't lay points, man, especially if the 5.5 is still available on BetMGM, especially if I know I said the Aces could look like trash, but if Natasha Cloud doesn't play, that's even a little bit more difficult. So I like both unders. Also in that first game, it'd definitely be Chicago plus the 7 for me as well. I think 7 is the best number you can get. Yeah, 7 is available on Caesars at -105. So these are the ways that I bet these games. Like I said, one of them about to start in 10 minutes. Whatever you guys are betting, best of luck, man. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about Seattle, Connecticut, Golden State, and Indiana. And yeah, enjoy your Tuesday, man. I will catch you guys in the next one. Matter of fact, hit the like button for me on the way out. Appreciate that. All the resources, as always, are listed in the description if you guys want to use any of them to handicap the games, any of the sports. And sorry I couldn't get Jackson to work, but appreciate everybody for tapping in as always, man. Like I said, enjoy your Tuesday. Best of luck on all your action today, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.